straight to the point. I'm gonna tell you guys basically what happened to me during those first like 24 hours of the baby being born. So first of all, I just want to say there is nothing wrong with breast or formula feed. Figure out what is best for you. I am not trying to bash anyone in how they feed their babies or anything like that. So I just want to put like that disclaimer out there. Okay, so you know how when you like first start dating somebody and stuff like that, and you guys are like asking questions to get to know each other, like, oh, do you want to get married one day? Do you want to have kids? Like, what's your life aspirations? Blah blah blah, all of this stuff, right? So when I first met my husband, him and I had, like a conversation, like any other couple, or anybody else that's getting to know each other about, what are the things they want, all that stuff. And one of the things that my husband mentioned to me was, obviously he wanted kids. And on top of kids, he wanted his kids to be breastfed. Like, they have to have breast milk. That was really important to him, and he told me that before, like, I even did, like, when he was just some dude, okay? So I knew that it was really important for him. And for me, I was like, yeah, like, of course, like, like, of course, we all want our kids to be, like, breastfed or whatever. And breast milk is super important and all of that stuff. So I knew that before I got with him, and stuff like that. So when, fast forward, got married, blah, 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 now I'm pregnant. One of the things, it's so funny because everybody kept asking me, like, oh, are you worried about like giving birth and stuff? And I was not nervous about giving birth at all. The thing that I was nervous about was breastfeeding. I was extremely like I was so scared about it and stuff like that because first of all, I knew that it was really important to him and not just him, his family. And then I knew that the first time I had some complications. So I was really nervous about it. Everyone, and this is the reason why I came on here to talk about this, because everyone tries to make it seem as if it's just something that just happens so naturally, like the baby is born and the baby just knows what to do and mom knows what to do. It's really a skill, okay? It is a skill. It's not something that just happens, or at least not for me. If your baby came out the womb and just knew how to latch and how to do everything, kudos to you, but that is never how it goes for me. So that was one of the things that I was super nervous about. So after I gave birth to my daughter, my new daughter, I was like, okay, now you guys know I had a midwife and stuff like that, and my mother-in-law was here and stuff like that. And I already had expressed to my mother-in-law before my concerns about breastfeeding, and she said she was going to help me. So she was there. So I felt confident, and then I also had my friend there who has been breastfeeding for years. So I felt confident that I had a good support system. So the baby was born. When the baby was born, we after everything, I would say maybe like 4 hours passed. 4 hours had passed, and I still wasn't able to breastfeed. Like I still was not, couldn't get her to latch, couldn't get her to, she wanted to, you can tell she wanted to because she kept trying, but she was getting frustrated, she was fussy, she was upset. I felt like my midwife also kind of got frustrated, which was definitely one of the downfalls of her. I felt like she was just like over the whole thing, if that makes sense. Like she was just like, okay, I came here for birth and delivery, you delivered the baby, that was already an 8-hour process, and then now here we got another 4 hours of breastfeeding and you still can't get it. And then she kind of just like left me, if that makes sense. Like she kind of was just like, hey, okay, I'm gonna go and you guys will figure it out. And I was just like, okay. And my friend who knows how to breastfeed and like does home birth, has done home, like she's done home births herself and stuff like that, was actually really frustrated about that. Like how could she just leave you like that and the baby hasn't even eaten? So I felt a lot of like pressure and stuff. And then, as you guys know, as I just told you from the beginning of this live, breast milk is just extremely important, to my husband and his family, and also to me. But I couldn't do it. So we had told my midwife, like, hey, listen, like, there's just nothing coming out. Like, guys, I even tried the pump. because I was like, okay, even if I can give her a bottle so she can have some colostrum, okay, then that's okay. But even with the pump, I couldn't get anything out. There was nothing coming out. Like I was just completely dry. So the midwife was like, give her formula. And first of all, we didn't even have formula. Second of all, I was already, I just gave birth, y'all guys. So I was emotional and I was like, this is not something that I want to do. This is not something I feel comfortable with. Like, no, I'm a woman. This is my body. I should be able to do it. Like, again, putting a lot of pressure on myself. Okay. Putting a lot of pressure on myself, like, no, I'm a woman, I should be able to do this, it's supposed to be natural for me. Like, guys, I was beating myself up. I was so upset at myself at the fact that, like, I just could not do this. And I started crying, guys. Like, when I tell you, I was hysterically crying. I was crying, I was frustrated. And then, like, the midwife, was just like, your baby needs to eat. She needs to eat. If you can't figure it out, you have to give her formula. Like she needs to eat and stuff like that. So we got so much pressure to the point where Hope was just like, my husband, he wasn't hard on me actually. I think it's because I was hard on myself a lot. So he was just very supportive and being like, baby, like we'll go get formula. It's okay. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Blase blase. So he went out to the store to go get the formula. And when he went out to the store, I kept trying and I kept trying with my mother-in-law. But again, like we tried to hand express, we pumped, we tried to latch her on. You guys, I was dry. There was nothing that was coming out. Nothing at all. I was so frustrated. And again, at this age, they don't drink a lot, especially at like one day. You know what I'm saying? Like they barely even drink an ounce. I was like, God, I was praying to God, God, please just give me a little bit so I can feed this child tonight because you know that I want to breastfeed. I want to have breast milk. I don't want to give her formula. So, you guys, I was just emotional. I was crying. I think that was the only time that I cried so far since I've had my baby. Like, I was crying, I was scared, I was emotional. I also felt like, pressure on myself about the judgments, like, oh, is like I know my husband has expressed to me how important for me to breastfeed is, like what does he think? Like, like I was thinking like what if he thinks like I'm less of a woman or his family, like or also for myself, like I felt less than. Like, why can't I do this? I don't understand. So, and I'm being very vulnerable with you guys right now. So please don't be leaving me nasty comments, okay? Like, be supportive because I will cuss you out. I was hard on myself enough, okay? So, yeah, that's what happened. So Hope came back with the formula, and we fed her like 1 ounce of formula um, throughout the whole night because she didn't drink a lot. The next day, oh my God, my mother-in-law, she was not playing. She spent the night that night. The first like week she stood over every night. So that next morning, from the morning, she was on it. She started making stuff like herbal stuff, and guys, I cannot tell you guys what it was because I have no idea. But she started making. I just know this kitchen from like 6 o'clock in the morning. She woke me up like, okay, let's go. We're gonna get this milk down today. And I was like, okay. So then she started giving me some herbal stuff. She made some like different types of soups and all this stuff. She started massaging me, started putting like really hot compress and batting stuff on me, like some like traditional stuff or whatever. Just massaging me, all that stuff. Guys, by the end of the night, my milk was flowing, or colostrum at the time was flowing. To this day, I have no problem with my milk. Actually, I have way too much milk that I think that maybe I should start like, freezing some. I didn't have a problem after that. I didn't have an issue after that. And then the midwife came the next day, which frustrated me because by the next day, my daughter would have been dead if I didn't want to give her formula. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, she should have stood there and she should have helped me, but whatever. The next day she came and because she had to do paperwork and stuff like that for the birth certificate and just a whole bunch of paperwork. And then the next day, we started going over like breastfeeding and stuff like that. And by then, my milk production was already down. I got my daughter to latch, and everything was all good. Like it was all good the next day. But that first 24 hours, guys, it was really hard. And I will say, like, if you are a mom and you have to, give your baby some formula, try not to beat yourself up because of it. Because it's already like we kind of judge ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And it can be extremely hard on us. And you're already emotional. You just gave birth. It's a lot. What I will say for my first daughter, okay, my first daughter, what happened was I did the same thing. I wanted to just give her breast milk. But my first daughter, she had jaundice. And because she had jaundice, they took her away from me right away and they put her under the lights. I gave birth at the hospital in New York during this time. And I had milk. Asante, I'm coming. I had milk, guys. I had milk. The milk was there, or colostrum. I had colostrum. It was there. I was I was pumping and stuff and giving the NICU the milk. You understand what I'm saying? Like the milk or whatever. And God, let me tell y'all something. I used to go every 2 hours to go to NICU. Um, I used to walk right over there because remember I was still in the hospital. I used to walk right over there and I used to give them my breast milk. And let me tell you something. I caught them. I caught them giving her formula, and I was pissed. Guys, when I tell you guys I was angry, I was so angry. Versus like this time, I didn't actually have anything to give the baby. But like with my first daughter, I had it. I had it. When I tell you guys I had it. And I went to go check on her, just like randomly check on her because I missed her. And I caught them giving her formula in the NICU. I I'm still angry. I was so angry because of it, and I asked them. I was like, I'm coming here every 2 hours to give you guys colostrum. Why are you guys giving her formula without my permission? And I didn't even know. It's not like they warned me. They didn't tell me anything. They weren't like, hey, like we're gonna give your daughter some formula. Like they didn't tell me anything. I just again caught them. So if your baby is in NICU, make sure you do random checks. Um, and then their excuse was, oh, you're not bringing enough colostrum in order for her to be full. So we had to give her formula. And again, they never told me anything. They never said anything. And then on top of that, what you call it? I definitely was giving enough because I was producing a good like 1 to 2 ounces of colostrum every 2 hours to give her, and I'm pretty sure that was enough. They probably just wanted to give her formula because formula makes them sleep longer because I don't know I don't know exactly how it works, but it makes them fuller or they don't cry as much when they have formula or I don't know something like that, something within that, something like that. So I think that's why they gave her formula because they probably was like, oh, she is under these lights and we have to take care of her 24/7 and she obviously the colostrum is not making her full. She's getting hungry every 2 hours or every hour or whatever, hour and a half. So let's give her formula. And they did it completely without my permission. I was completely upset. So at least this experience was different, like it was kind of like I made the choice to give her formula, even though not really. I really didn't get the choice because my midwife was pressuring me like you need to give her formula because you don't have anything. You understand what I'm saying? Like it was hard. It was really hard. And even like my friend or whatever, she was just like, I know you don't want to get formula. Do not get formula. Like she was telling me, like, don't get pressured into this. But I definitely did get pressured. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like my midwife pressured the shit out of me. Like she really did. Do I have any problems with my milk now? No, I don't. Trust me. Yeah. Look, guys, there's a bowl right now of broth right there. No, I don't. I only had problems the first day when it came to my breast milk. The next day, the milk started coming down, and ever since that, my milk is here. Like it's definitely here now. Thank God I don't have those issues, but like I don't know if it was because my body naturally, I feel like it probably was both, but I know for a fact my mother in law had a big part to do with it because she just started giving me all these things to eat and, massaging me and doing all of these things to kind of like wake my body up to say, hey, listen, you have a baby to feed, wake up. I don't know what was that about. Apparently some people said like my mother was like, oh, that my mother-in-law was like, oh, that's normal. Sometimes some people like their milk doesn't come down, their colostrum doesn't come down the first day, right after they give birth. But like I thought it was supposed like your body and your brain knows like, okay, the baby is here, you need to feed the baby. But like guys, I literally didn't have anything for like the first 24 hours. I was so pissed. I was so angry. I was like, what is wrong with my body? Like, why am I not doing this? Why is it not happening? You know? But I could probably hear like I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I could hear my friend Maya in my head like water, water, water. Like you probably didn't drink enough water. So that has a big part to do with it now. Also, even with my milk production, I try to drink so much water per day. Um, I try to drink so much water per day. And I notice that even sometimes when I lack in water, my milk doesn't come out as much. Because I was doing research and stuff, and they said like, breast milk is like 90% water or something like that. Um, yeah, it's like 90% water, so like make sure that you're drinking enough water. So every time, guys, I have 4 bottles of water by my bedside at every time now, and I'm constantly drinking water, and I think that's definitely helping with the milk flow. I have not tried anything that's not considered natural. Like I haven't tried any supplements or anything like that. I haven't felt that I've needed to because my mother-in-law is, trust me, she's giving me I think every tree in Tanzania. And I haven't felt the need to like take any like pills or anything like that. Or I haven't even tried any like lactation cookies. I haven't tried any lactation cookies or anything like that. I do, if you are coming here, bring me some lactation cookies because I do want to try it. But I haven't had any problems since that first day. Since that first day, my milk is here. Now I have official milk. It's not colostrum. It's actual milk. Now, and thank God I've had breastfeeding problems, like latching and all of those other things, but like my milk is here, like it's here. Thank God, like thank God, it's here. It's here. And I have not needed to give formula. Let me show you guys the formula that I did use. So this is the one that I used. And as you guys can see, I used it for that one night, like literally for that one night that I struggled. And I do want to give it to somebody. I don't know if we should get rid of it yet. Maybe like, God forbid. God forbid, guys. There's another night, and we're not gonna speak that into existence, okay? And this right here, this little can cost us, look, 35, basically 34,000 shillings, which is like um, around maybe like 12 bucks, right? Am I doing that right? Well, somebody correct me. I think it's around like 12 bucks if I'm not mistaken. Um, no, yeah, like 12 bucks, I think. Anyways, so, and a baby can drink this in a few days. So you see how expensive it is? It's very expensive. It's extremely expensive. So, and apparently they have iron. vitamin C, calcium, vitamin D, has all these things in there. And yeah, I'm just, I don't know. It's just not something that I want for my baby. Again, not judging anybody else who wants it for their baby. Or, I used it, guys. I used it, and she's fine. She's fine. She's definitely fine. Um, so, hey Jules, any information on your midwife? Also, how was everything birth experience? So, I do have a birth video coming out talking about everything. Hope said he was gonna edit it yesterday. He did not, guys. He did not. So go on his Instagram and tell him to edit the video. Okay? He did not. He didn't even pick up the computer yesterday. Um, so that didn't happen, but I'm hoping it's gonna come out sometime soon. So how do I feel about my midwife? I am so 50-50 on her. Like, I still don't know if I would recommend her, but then it's like, it's frustrating because she did certain things that I did not like, but then certain things I did like, so I'm really conflicted. Um, she knows what she's doing. I will say that. She knows what she's doing. She's very intelligent. When it came time to having the baby, she knew what she was doing completely. She knew what she was doing. I feel like for you to be a midwife who does at home births, I feel like she could have respected more of my wishes. Like I said that I didn't want so many cervix checks, but like she just wasn't listening to that. A lot of like holistic things that I wanted to do, like even not cutting the cord, is like I kind of felt like I had to fight her when she should have just been like, yes, of course, this is your birth, this is your home birth, like you should, it's okay, versus like somebody else. I feel like they probably would have been more understand. I feel like her opinion, okay? Her opinion was just, it was her opinion, and it wasn't about her, it was about me. And that's how I felt. I felt like, Maya, she's in the comments. Maya was there for my home birth, y'all. Make sure y'all go on her YouTube channel and subscribe to her channel. But I felt like I truly felt like we could have done it ourselves. If me and Maya was there and I gave birth, I felt like Maya could have held it down. I told her, I was like, next time, I'm gonna just have you there. If there's a next time, because I'm still debating if I want another one. Um, but um, but yeah, like she was very disconnected. Like if that makes sense, like she was very disconnected. She kind of is, just stood, she kind of just stood there and watched. She wasn't very comforting, but I guess that's what a doula is for. It's not a midwife. But she did what she had to do. She checked my blood pressure, like medical stuff. She was good. You know what I'm saying? She did what she needed to do. When the baby came out, she did everything. But financial side, business side, I think she's like the worst business person in the world. Like I truly do, and it irritates the entire F out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like it really irritates me. Like I give you an example, right? So first of all, and this is actually my fault because I thought that I have learned this lesson. Hold on. I don't know how long I'm about to be on this live. I tried to do it when she was sleeping, but sis just woke up. But yeah, A part of this I think has to do with myself as well because I should have learned my lesson because I've had a lot of encounters here in Tanzania, and one of the biggest things that I should say is to always get everything in writing. Always, never take somebody's word of mouth. And there was just a lot of things when it came to the business side of it. Like, so first of all, we went there so that way I could be able to interview all the midwives. So I did that. I interviewed all the midwives, and she was, to me, in my opinion, she was the best one. She was the best one, and she told me everything. If you guys go to D&H Adventure and look at the interview, guys, and I recorded everything because I was doing a lot for YouTube or whatever. And so, oh, you scratched your face, mama. I have to cut your nails. Okay. So what happened was she said, okay, so we agreed on a certain price, right? And then she was like, okay, this does not include the pre-op appointments, right? So the appointments from before. Okay, cool. Then we agreed on that price. And then, but she's supposed to see the baby 5 days, 10 days, 4 weeks, and then 6 weeks, right? That's included into the price. She talked about, all of her equipment is included into the price. The labor and delivery is included into the price. So we got this huge price, but it had all of this stuff in there. Y'all, this woman, every left and right, she tried to fight me. Every left and right. First of all, when she came here, we agreed to a certain price or whatever, that we were going to pay her a certain thing. And every time that we gave her the money, she was just like, she gave like a funny face, like, that's all that I'm getting. But like, we agreed, like, okay, well, you came here for an appointment, this was going to be the price. So that already started to make me feel uncomfortable. And then there was another time where Hope, I needed to get a piece of paper signed or whatever because I was trying to be excused from something. And it was just literally like an excuse paper, like, excuse this person or whatever from, when you call out from work, basically, something like that. And after she signed it, she asked Hope for money. And I said to Hope, at that moment, I started to feel like, why is she asking you for money to sign a piece of paper? Is this lady money hungry? So I started questioning her integrity. Like, I started being like, yo, if this woman is greedy for money, that kind of scares me because, like, because the agreement is, if something happens, so if my life is at jeopardy or the baby's life is at jeopardy or something that she feels that we need to go to the hospital, she will take us to the hospital. So I started to feel like I was really battling if I was going to do this home birth because of this. I started to battle with myself and be like, well, if she's money hungry or whatever, is she going to try to do this birth? Is she going to try to do this birth just for the money, even though, like, what if my life is in jeopardy? How do I trust that she's going to take me to the hospital? Is her ethics okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, is she morally okay? So I wound up getting over that or whatever. Another thing that I would say is, I don't know if this is just her, but like my mom, she had said to me, she was like, did you get her license? Like, do you know that she's licensed or whatever? And I was like, no, I kind of just trust the fact that she's licensed. So she was like, no, before you make a decision to have a home birth with her, find out about her license. And I was like, okay. So I asked her for her license. She got so offended. Like, you don't trust me? Why are you asking me for my license? And all of this stuff. And I was just like, whoa, this is not personal. Like, this is my life. Like, I'm giving birth. Like, I want to know who I'm giving, like, birth with. She got super offended. She even called Hope. She called my husband because he speaks Kiswahili. And she was just like, if your wife doesn't want to give birth with me, then she doesn't have to give birth. She got very nasty. And guys, I felt so stressed. Mind you, this was like just a few weeks away from when I was going to give birth. Just a few weeks from when I was going to give birth. So I felt upset, like I'm about to give birth and now I have to find, maybe I should give birth in the hospital. We were still debating, maybe I should give birth in the hospital and I should do this and I would do that. So I started contacting everybody that I knew and seeing their opinion, who've had home births or either are midwives or either in school to be midwives or doctors or whatever, because I have a lot of doctor friends. So I start calling everybody and I'm like, hey, this is what happened to me. Do you think I should do this home birth? Do you think I should trust this lady? Blase, because these are the signs that I'm getting or whatever. mean, there's not much that she's gonna be doing. She's just gonna be checking your blood pressure, blase blase. They were like, they wouldn't give birth with her unless like there was somebody else there, an assistant. That's another thing, she didn't have an assistant. Unless there, which makes sense because I feel like she didn't have an assistant because she probably don't want to pay an assistant. So I wound up having my friend there, which she's done so many home births and stuff. So I felt like, okay, I'm confident I can do this with this lady. And at the same time, it was just too late for me to try to find a hospital, and it was just so uncomfortable. I was so upset that this was happening. Okay, after birth, I just told you guys about how she just left me after I gave birth or whatever. She didn't even like really try to help me at all breastfeed. She left me. Thank God I had other support system that helped me. Then the next day, remember she's supposed to come for these post-op appointments, right? Guys, why she completely, let me rewind. So after the situation happened about her asking for money to sign the paper, I was like, you know what, Diamond, let's just confirm everything that she said. So I did that. So I confirmed. I was like, hey, I just want to make sure that, this is included, da 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 da, right? She never replied to my message. She just left it on red. So I was like, okay. So then when she came for the visit, this is before I gave birth, I asked her again, I was like, hey, I just want to make sure that everything that you said, now guys, remember, I had everything on recording from when we interviewed her because I was recording the process. So I was like, I just want to make sure that, you said that there was 4 appointments, 5 days, 10 days, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. Those 4 weeks are included into the birth price and all that stuff. And she was like, no, it's not. It's not included. And I said, no, it is included, and you told me that it was included. No, maybe you misunderstood me. That's not what I said. You're going to have to pay extra, for me to come there. And I was just like, no, you definitely said that. And she was like, no, I didn't. I said, well, I have a recording of it. So I showed her the recording of it, and she was like, oh, okay, so then I'll just throw in 2 visits for free. And I was like, well, you're not throwing it in for free. Like, you and I came up with a price for everything, and then now you're taking away 2 visits. So I tried to fight her on it, but I was just like, you know what? I'll just take the 2 visits, and then afterwards, I'll take it to a pediatrician. I was like, I'll take the 2 visits. Guys, after I gave birth and I gave that money to that woman, she was not trying to come here. She was not trying to come here unless I was giving her money. She was like, no, you have to pay me for me coming there. Now, mind you, we ran into this issue twice, okay? Twice we ran into this issue because, number one, remember she said at the beginning that the 4 visits were covered. And then I readdressed it, and then she said she would give us the 2 free visits. Then after she got money after the birth, now all of a sudden, she never said anything about the 2 visits and gaslighting the shit out of me, trying to make it seem like I'm misunderstanding, there's a language barrier or something like that. No, that's not how it was at all. And I had my husband there when she said both times to make sure that it's not me, that I'm not tripping. I wind up getting angry. I got so upset because I don't like being taken advantage of. You understand what I'm saying? Don't take advantage of me, and that's exactly how I felt. But then we had this whole issue or whatever because I'm getting pissed off thinking about it all over again. So I really don't know if I would recommend her or if I would use her again. Or maybe if I would get everything in writing. And then I was upset at myself because I was like, Donnie, you should have got it in writing. You should have got it in writing because if I had it in writing, she probably still would have tried to gaslight me or whatever. But if I had it in writing, at least I had, you know what I'm saying? Because right now it's just she said, I said, she said, I said, even though I had it on video. You know, so there was nothing I can do about it because it's not like I had a signature. I mean, technically, I guess you could change your mind. I don't know. I don't know what the policy is. But I wish that I had it in writing. I wish that I had it in writing. It's like I beat myself up all the time because I'm like, Diamond, even the second time when she said she'll give you the 2 free visits, why didn't you get it in writing then? I don't know, guys. I was pregnant, girl. I was just pregnant. I have no idea. I don't know, but my advice is get everything in writing. So, and this goes back to, remember, guys, and I'm not saying this, listen, if you're Tanzanian, don't beat me up. I'm just saying this is my experience when it comes to Tanzanian people, for real, y'all are just, it's just terrible business. This happened to me before when it came to the woman who, the daughter, I remember I told you guys a long time ago, the daughter that I had or whatever, I asked her if she wanted to make extra money and watch my daughter. And I paid her so much money to watch my daughter. She went and said that I never gave her the money. Till this day. Till this day. Every time that I give somebody money, I have them sign off that I gave them money. Because that was like a bite in the ass for me, because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that you said I didn't give you money. Not only did I give you money, I gave you, like, I found out later on that I gave her like a month of her salary to watch my daughter for like 3 hours. And like she screwed me over and said I never gave her money. And I could not believe it. That was like the first week that I ever came to Tanzania. And since then I learned my lesson. Trust me. I make sure every time I give somebody money, I have them sign off on it that I gave them that money, because people will say that you did not give them money and you did. Okay? And you did. Hey. So, anyway, so I didn't get a contract. I didn't get anything. I don't know, guys. So I guess it's my mistake. I completely made a mistake, whatever. So now it came time to her 5-day visit. Now, guys, you know the 5-day visit, really all they doing is weighing the baby to make sure that the baby has gained weight, okay? So I didn't want to pay. I was pissed. I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to pay because it was the principle of it, guys. It was the principle. We tried to talk to her and stuff. Sis already got her money. She ain't trying to hear nothing unless she's going to get paid. So we didn't have a choice, and I know a lot of you guys will say, my husband and I actually got into it because he was like, babe, you know, we got to have her come because she needs to be able to. And I was like, no, she's taking advantage of her, and we're enabling that behavior if we just pay her. We cannot do that. We cannot just sit here and pay her. And I was angry, but I thought about it, and the more I kept thinking about it, I was just like, you know what, Diamond? You have to do what's best for your daughter. And you need to make sure that she's gaining weight, and you need to make sure that she is okay. You have to put your pride aside. You have to put your pride to the side that this woman is literally, bluntly ripping you off, okay, and completely taking advantage of you. But you have to put your pride aside because your baby is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. And I did. She came there at 5 days. I tried not to have an attitude. I swear, y'all, I try not to have an attitude, but y'all know that I express myself. And I was just like, you know, just do what you need to do and go. We did try to find somebody else, but to get somebody to do a home visit and then to just trust somebody else and all, it was just too much. It was too much. So we did wind up having her come for one visit, for the 5-day visit, and checking her weight and stuff like that and making sure that she's good. And baby girl's perfect. She gained weight and stuff. So I'm feeding her good and stuff like that. After that, I have not used her. And I told Hope, I was like, tell her thank you so much. And you know what's crazy, y'all? You know what is crazy? Because I really feel like these people be messing it up for themselves. Because I said to my husband, I said, babe, I think we should give her a nice tip, you know, just to say thank you after the whole thing is over. She messed that up for herself. Oh, she absolutely messed it up for herself. If she wasn't so greedy, then maybe we wouldn't have been in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she would have actually got more money than she was asking for the visit, most likely, if she wasn't being so greedy and going back on her word like 5 times. So anyways, I don't know if I would recommend her yet. Okay? I don't know. But, I mean, she did deliver the baby, okay? Baby came out fine. So she did do her job. But she did the minimum of her job. But she did do her job. I think, baby, if you would go with her, just make sure you get a contract. Make sure you get everything ready. Make sure you get everything detailed. But you never know. She may look at that contract, too, and be like, I ain't signed that. I don't remember signing that. I don't know. I just have a problem with trusting her at this moment, and I think you probably can understand why right now. Okay? I think you can probably understand why. But I have a little bit of an issue trusting her. Yeah. And even, like, when I expressed, I don't know, y'all, like, I feel like if you're a midwife, you're supposed to believe in a lot of holistic things and understand that the reason why people want to have natural births is because they don't believe in, like, all the medicine and all that stuff. And she was very, like, not into holistic things at all. Like when I wanted things to be hands off, like I didn't want her to touch me. She tried to break my water. She tried to break my water because she wanted to speed up the process. She wind up not breaking my water because, um, what you call it? I think everybody advocated for me and was like, no, you're not gonna break her water. Like everything is gonna be completely natural. Um, she did want to though. She was preparing to break my water and all of that stuff, and she was like, "I'll break your water. Things will go much faster and stuff." And it's just like it just felt very hospitally, like the things that she was trying to do, but we did it really natural. But we had to advocate for ourselves in order for it to be really natural. And I feel like when you get a midwife and when you're trying to do it at home, you shouldn't have to advocate for yourself for it to be natural. Isn't that the whole point of it being at home, right? Like, am I bugging? Am I bugging? But yeah, that's how I feel about my midwife. I don't know how to feel about her quite yet. I don't know how to feel about her quite yet. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go. But I love the fact that I spoke to you guys today. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember right now, and Missy wants me to get off live. What you think? I think you want me to get off live, even though she's falling right back asleep.